Hello and welcome to Reasons Are Debatable, where we look at one topic, sometimes, from many angles and offer bad advice most of the time that you didn't know you needed. My name is Matt.
I'm Neil.
How's it going, Neil?
It's going all right. And how are you?
I'm doing fine. I wanted to remind folks, if they want to hear more of me for whatever reason whatsoever, the 2 episodes of the Portland Music Chatter with our liner notes came out the last week and a half. So please go check that out. And then also I was on the season finale of Diamond Dave's show, Podcast Without Bounds.
Oh, wow.
It was a little bit of a shit show. It was a 3-hour mega episode. We recorded it on Friday. His sister was on at the beginning. Then Carl from the Fourth Line joined us. Chris Meyer joined us. We had this round table discussion of like everything under the sun. But it's if you're looking for 3 hours to kill, go check out Podcast Without Bounds.
Sure. And unfortunately during these times, people have that kind of time to kill.
That's true. This episode could not have come at a better time. So that's good.
Well, good.
Last week, we kicked off the show with a headline talking about Biden looking at his VP running mate. And we kind of enjoyed that. So we kind of want to do something similar to that this week. I found this article that was on the Metro, which is in the UK. And their site always is interesting because they have some funny like health bits and sex stuff that we've talked about before on here. So Neil?
Yes.
Orgasms. Are you familiar? Are you a fan? Are you not a fan?
I am a fan. I'm somewhat familiar with them.
Okay.
I like them. I think everyone should have at least one a day.
I agree. So this article says, there's a number of interesting statistics here. Organisms.
Sure. Well, partial. Yeah.
Orgasms are a surprisingly poorly understood bodily function, with search engines fielding thousands of queries about how they work, who's having or not having them, and in some cases, whether they even exist for women.
That's brutal.
So here's a list of the biggest questions surrounding orgasms. How many orgasms do people have? Probably not enough would be the answer.
Yeah. And when they say how many they have, is that a day, a week, a month, a year, a lifetime?
Well, I think they're going to cover at all angles here, but
okay.
It says the number that people have across the world varies wildly, of course. A study of 2,200 people in 2017 by sex toy company Lilo, big fan?
Big fan.
However, found out that the country where people are having the most orgasms is, want to guess?
Norway.
You read the article.
Yeah.
Damn it.
You can't send me an article about orgasms and not expect me to read it.
I'm so not used to you doing research. So
I know.
This time you did. 35% of Norwegian respondents say they climax at least once a day. That's a fucking good number. In Germany, 2.54%. Oh man,
wow.
Poor
That's
Germans.
brutal.
That's not good at all. And then in Brazil, 30% say they orgasm weekly, but they rated them as the most intense than any other country, which seems pretty presumptuous and arrogant, doesn't it?
Yeah. And how would they know?
Well, that's true. Like, how do you compare that data?
Well, I get maybe if like a lot of Brazilians are like, well, I've slept with a lot of people internationally, and when I'm with a Brazilian, the reaction either from a male or female is pretty intense versus these Germans.
Yeah, that could be. Either that or they gave them like a 1 to 10 scale, and all the Brazilians are like 10.
10. I'm in. You're in. Somebody's in.
You're in. Overall, the worldwide average was around 2 to 3 times a week. And I wonder what those 2020 numbers would look like now, because this was done in 2017.
Yeah, I would imagine worldwide it would be like 8 to 12 times a week.
I hope so. Nowhere else to go. Number 2, how many people fake orgasms? Oh, boy.
Yeah. And I never understood this. I don't understand why the faking.
Yeah, I want to get into that. Studies typically show that women are more likely to do so than men. This may be because it's harder for many women to orgasm through penetration alone, which might make them feel like they need to feign climax to show their partner they're enjoying themselves, even if they can't reach orgasm. God, I can't talk. If your partner can't get you there, speak up. I don't think you need to hold that back and be like, whatever. Or is it one of those things where it's like, I just want to be done with this with you. I'm just going to, I'm done.
Well, the interesting thing is if I just want to be done with you, then don't you want that person to orgasm quickly? And then, because then it's kind of done because they're happy and you're like, cool, we'll go.
Well, but maybe it's just that I guess so. I think maybe it's more of there's a combination of one, you don't want to hurt the person's feelings, probably. And two being like, well, they're going to wait for me, so I'll just go ahead and act like I did so we can be done with this and move on.
But it's interesting because, I mean, I think...
Not Brazilians, mind you.
Not Brazilians, because it's intense. I think what would bum me out more is if the person was faking it and not getting the pleasure they wanted, because it seems like, look, I'll do what works for you. Yeah. Just point me in the right direction or tell me what that is.
You want to put it in my butt? Put it in my butt.
Whatever. Or if it's, you know, you need to, is that something you need to do on your own? Because, you know, like penetration doesn't get you there, which for a lot of women is a thing. Mm-hmm. And it's like, that's fine. Let's do this together. We'll figure it out, man.
Yeah, let's workshop
here for the whole thing. Yeah.
Let's get all of our tools out and we'll figure it out.
That's it. I'm easy. So don't worry about me. You tell me what you need and we'll go from there.
Yep. I don't know why the hesitation, but like you said, maybe it's, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of hurt feelings that people are trying to avoid. And in the end, it creates resentment on the part of the person who can't get there.
Yeah, I guess it's weird to me because I view, unless I'm masturbating, I view sex as kind of like a team sport between those two people.
Yeah.
So you need both of you to be involved in the game plan. And I don't know if it's like some old school kind of misogynistic thing where it's like the guy is supposed to be able to please the woman whether she wants to be pleased or not, or he knows what he's doing or not. And if a woman says to a guy, oh, no, I didn't orgasm, or it would help me if you did this, like the guy's going to be just broken. Like, oh my God, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I make it happen every time.
Right.
Like,
there goes the streak. Buddy. You just broke the streak.
Yeah. Thanks. Maybe the problem is you. Not me.
Oh no, I'm sure guys have said that, assholes. Mm-hmm. It also may be down to the fact that many men ejaculate when orgasming, so it's harder for them to fake it. Have you ever orgasmed without ejaculating? I mean, I don't know that that's possible for me.
I don't know. I mean, I've had like amazing sensations that felt different than just the regular doing it.
Yeah.
But didn't ejaculate. But I don't know if that would be I don't think that's an orgasm. I guess in
my
head, I
tremors,
think,
not the full earthquake.
Yeah, I think I guess in my head, or my body, an orgasm is ejaculation. So if something else is going on, I don't think of it as an orgasm, but maybe it's a different kind of orgasm.
Yeah, that could be. One study of around 1,500 Americans, oh boy, here we go, found that 48% of women respondents faked orgasm. 48%.
Yeah. Maybe it's a U.S. thing.
Well, and this is while 11% of men had.
11, yeah.
Which I could see that, but 48%, that is sadly too high of a number.
I don't know if I'd call it faked, but I fibbed, like, you know, like somebody wants you to get
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I got there.
And you're like, yeah, no, I'm good. I'm done.
Yep.
Trust me.
Yeah.
You know, and not for not having a good time, but it's just like, you never know what, you know, maybe you already did a couple times and now you're like, I don't know what's going on with little dude, but he's not going anywhere and I'm getting freaking exhausted. So if we could just call it now.
I'm beginning to chafe, so I think we'll just call it a day. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
I am starving.
Number 3, how many orgasms is it possible to have in one go? So according to one piece of research, 70% of women reported having multiple orgasms, some over 20 in a single session. What? Mm-hmm. Is that Sting's wife?
Perhaps. I mean, it's a 20-hour session.
That's true. So once an hour.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine how many bags of ice you'd need?
Oh God. That's just, I think you wouldn't be able to go again for like 10 days. You'd just be so raw.
Well, maybe it's not from penetration. Maybe it's some other, you know.
True.
Maybe a little toy or something.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah.
When it comes to penises.
Yes.
Which is coincidentally the title of my new book.
Right. When it comes to penises.
Men normally need a refractory period after ejaculating, so it's a lot harder to make multiple orgasms in a single sitting happen. It's the old, give me a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and understandable.
Yeah.
You know, give me a couple minutes while we're waiting. Why don't you tell me what I can do to help you out?
Right. And don't fake it.
Yeah. Or if you're going to fake it for you, because it's not going to do anything for me.
Yeah, that's true. Perhaps the big question here is not whether we can, but whether we should do multiple. While it's great if you're a tantric specialist who can come to kingdom come, I love the way they say that. If you're happy with one or even none, then that's absolutely fine. Who the hell's happy with none?
Well, I again, I know they touch on it in the article, no pun intended, But there are some people that have a very, very difficult time orgasming, but they still really enjoy
the act. Yeah.
the act and all the other feelings that go into it. So they want to do it. It's just not going to happen that often.
Yeah, that's
the final countdown. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, if you find that sex begins to hurt or become uncomfortable, stop. Quality over quantity.
Collaborate and listen.
Exactly. I agree. Although I do think one is better than none if you can make it happen. Number 4, how many people can't orgasm? This is called
12.
There's just 12 of them?
Just 12. There's always just 12. No matter how great the population is, there's always just 12.
7 of them live in Germany, unfortunately. Yeah. Anorgasmia, the inability to reach orgasm, is much more common than many of us think. Ironically, every woman I've ever been with has anorgasmia.
Right. I thought you were going to go the other way.
No.
I've never met one of these 12
women. I can't figure out what it is. I just have bad luck. I keep driving.
I only say 12 because I've been with 12 people and all 12.
Exactly. For some, it's a psychological issue. This makes sense. While for others, it's caused by medication, physical trauma of the genitals, or hormonal imbalances. Mm-hmm. Primary anorgasmia is when a person has never had one, while secondary is you had one in the past, but now you can't. Which I don't know which is worse.
Don't know what you got till it's gone.
Yeah,
throw that
true.
out there for you.
There you go. All else fails, go to lyrics.
That's it.
It's thought that up to 4.6% of women have trouble reaching orgasm, with some studies suggesting up to 10% of women in America have never had one.
Yeah, I would have thought that number's a little bit higher because there seems to be a little bit of unfortunate, like women, it seems, are oftentimes made to feel bad about their sexuality if they are very sexual, or that sex is dirty in some way, or they're doing something they shouldn't. And masturbation for women has also been kind of a weird thing for some reason. I don't know what's wrong with freaking guys of the good olden days, because it seems like no, you can't have any pleasure, you can't do anything fun, that's all for us guys, so you women just raise the kids and
everything was
don't
catered.
Touch yourself.
Yeah, everything was catered toward the male, and when a lot of times in the past when the subject of masturbation would come up, it was almost usually regarding the male. Mm-hmm. And so I think that that's obviously changing, which is good, and I hope it makes it easier. But I could see it being a psychological thing, for some, or having some sort of trauma from the past being an issue. But that's sad. 10% of them never.
And it's a shame too that there are women that just feel that exploring their bodies is somehow shameful or wrong or not. I think there might be too a religious element to this too, because I know in Catholic school,
that's right.
we were taught that like masturbation was bad.
Yeah,
which is just such a weird thing to bring up and teach. Hey, by the way, we know you're going to jack it. It's not bad. And you girls don't even, that thing's for peeing and shooting babies out.
That's it. You're wasting your time otherwise. Mm-hmm. In men, secondary anorgasmia is more common, particularly when somebody's gone like a prostatectomy, because then you lose your no longer.
Yeah.
While orgasms are great, they aren't the be-all, end-all of sex.
No.
That is true, I guess, but I mean, isn't it the end goal? Aren't we all trying to get there?
I think normally, yeah, but I mean, if I'm enjoying time with my partner, I don't have to reach pleasure to still have a great time.
Sure, but I think that ideally you would come to a climax.
Literally.
I think so.
Yeah.
Finally, what's the point of an orgasm?
That's a good question.
Is that a class they taught in Catholic school?
Sleep? Yeah. The point of orgasm.
Taught by a nun. Mm-hmm. It seems fairly obvious why those with penises have orgasms from a biological sense. After all, this orgasm propels the sperm into a vagina or a sock or tissue, depending on the day, or maybe as
just
we learned
across the room.
I was going to say maybe as we learned on our old show, a shoebox. Remember the cum box?
That's right, a shoebox.
So gross.
An ear, sometimes a neck,
sure.
Boobs.
Yeah,
it just means propel it somewhere. Good old boobs.
Good old boobs. So the goal being to project or propel it to fertilize the egg. There's a theory that in women, the orgasm was a trait to stimulate ovulation after sex, which somehow stuck around after.
What are you doing with your hand?
I'm just maneuvering.
You're maneuvering the lady parts.
I don't know why I'm using my hands so much. Unfortunately, you don't get the video here, but it seems like I'm working on a
great.
concept with my hands.
You
I'm
got something
molding
going.
something, perhaps,
Yeah.
maybe some sort of body part.
Yeah.
Sorry, I lost my train of thought.
I like it. Ovulation to
Yes.
spark.
So stimulate, spark the ovulation after sex, which somehow stuck around after there was more access to mates and ovulation became more random. So it's not just about making babies.
Freaking rando ovulation.
Specifically, why it stuck around after it served no evolutionary and reproductive purposes isn't known, but we're happy that the orgasm didn't die out with our ancestors. So I just thought that was interesting. Look into it, especially because of the whole people who can't have it, and then also people who fake it. Those are the two things when I was reading that, I just thought those are interesting because, like you said, why fake it? And if you can't get there, let's find a way to do it.
Yeah. I also think it's interesting that our bodies came equipped with this thing that makes us feel really, really good when you're doing something that can be the beginning stages of creating life. And I wonder if that's like the universe's way, or God, if you believe in that, of saying, after you get pregnant, your life is pretty much going to suck. So we're going to give you this really good feeling, and this is it. Mm-hmm. It'll never feel this good again.
There was a comedian who does a bit on that, and I can't remember who it is, where they talk about how it's like God creating the body, and he's saying, or she is saying, I want you to sprinkle in like this feel good whatever into those parts. And it's like, let's put in like 20. And the guy's like, 20? Like there's only 4 in the whole ass. He's like, you know what? I want this to feel so good that they don't stop doing it and they just keep pumping out babies. Let's put in, actually put in 40.
That's great.
All right. Now that we got orgasms out of the way. Mm-hmm. Neil, let me ask you this. Mm-hmm. Are we alone in the universe? And by that, I don't mean a lack of intimacy with other humans. I mean, is there life out there in the cosmos?
Life or intelligent life, or either or?
Either or, and or both, or all.
I don't know for sure. I do believe. I don't have
kidding.
proof. Don't quote me on this. I do believe that somewhere out there in the vast expanse of space, there is life and intelligent life. Mm-hmm. Will our lives ever cross path with those lives, our intelligence with those intelligence? I think it's possible, but highly improbable.
Okay. It's funny, by the way, just as a side note, before we got into this topic, we were kicking around topic ideas, and one of the ones we had out there was covering ghosts and paranormal stuff. And you're like, well, why don't we do those two together? Which made me think, does he think of aliens or intelligent life out in the universe as a ghost? Is that like
they're yes, they are. They're just energy beings.
Okay.
You've heard of Casper, right?
That's right.
What about you? Do you think there is?
Well, I have proof.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I was gonna. In fact, hold on. Let me get it out. No, I have.
Great if you just had one of your kids. See,
no,
don't know where he came from.
Just the head of an alien.
Yeah, there you go.
Get back down. No, but I think it's silly to think that there's not something out there, given that the universe is infinite. If you want to believe that, because of course I've had that discussion before. Well, how is the universe infinite? Well, what's on the outside of the universe?
Right, water.
That's what it is. It's water.
That's it.
Yeah. So there has been a lot of hubbub, because I like to use words like that about UFOs and aliens. And
do you think there's ever a conference about UFOs and they're like, let's get to the hubbub?
Alien hubbub, hosted by Matt. So UFOs and aliens have come up a lot in recent months because there was that declassification of some previously leaked videos from naval pilots, naval aviators, who who did see
-4G,
see inverted spacecraft of some sort or aircraft of some sort doing maneuvers that.
So would you say they saw an unidentified flying object?
You could argue that, and that is what. And I don't know if you listen to the audio and watch those videos. Have you seen them?
Yes.
Okay. But it's funny because the guys are like, whoa, what is he like? What does that thing do? Do you see how many of them there are? Like they're freaking out kind of trying to figure out what the hell's going on. It was off the coast of California. I think some of it was in 2004 and some of it was in 2015. it's funny because they declassified it, I think, because the stuff had leaked previously, before. They're saying that these are legit, but they're not really explaining what they are. And apparently there is this thing called the UAP task force, which is unidentified aerial phenomenon. You down with UAP?
Big down. Okay. You know me. Big down. I don't know what big down is.
Big down.
Up, I get, but big down.
So this thing, the UAP, is part of the naval intelligence. So they're taking this shit seriously. We also, by the way, have Space Force. So clearly we're preparing for some sort of invasion.
Yes.
Fucking Space Force. We need a theme song for Space Force. Can you work on that?
I want them to use the theme song for America. Fuck yeah. Just want them to do like Space Force. Fuck yeah. And that's it.
I haven't seen that TV show. Have you seen the TV show?
Gonna kick you in the dick. Yeah, we've seen a few episodes and I enjoy it.
Is it good? Okay.
It's stupid, funny, and with everything going on now, it's kind of
fitting.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the whole Area 51 thing and the Roswell situation?
I don't know. It seems like there's something there because there's too much there to nothing be there, but I don't know what is there.
Well said.
Yeah.
Well,
this is I am you may not know this, but I am the general of Space Force.
I thought you were just a consultant.
No.
Way more involved.
I was going to be a consultant, but they're like, this guy knows nothing. Put him in charge.
Because at the time they claimed it was a weather balloon, and then later on it was revealed or whatever. The story was that it was part of this program that was monitoring like nuclear testing in the Soviet Union by putting these balloons way up in the air with audio equipment, which sounds like that would never work. But sure, that's what they said. So I've always kind of wondered about how people feel about that stuff because I'm not talking to my microphone. Sorry, because my grandmother had this fascination with Area 51. She wanted to go to Roswell so badly, and she and my brother were actually going to go, and it ended up not working out. She passed away, but it's this weird...
Or did she?
She got abducted.
She might be there.
I want to get into abductions in a minute, too. But I've always thought this was interesting. And then I don't know if have you heard of that? Is it his name Bob Lazar? Is that his name?
It sounds familiar.
So this guy was on Joe Rogan's show like a year ago. I didn't hear the interview. It's supposed to be kind of interesting, but this guy's story is pretty funny. So he claims that he worked in an area near Area 51 called S4, where he did reverse engineering on one of 9 alien aircraft that they had there, trying to figure out how it worked. And so he said the one he worked on, which he called the sport model, which I thought was hilarious because like,
that's great.
Can you get it in like British Racing Green or
sure.
You throw the floor mats with that, the sport model? The propulsion system of this craft allowed it to bend light around it to avoid detection. That's just bizarre. Is that in all models or just the sport model?
I think that's why it was the sport model, because like the SAV or the SUV model, it's just too bulky to have that. You can bend light like around some of it, but then it just looks like it's a floating cabin. It's dumb.
Yeah, it's going to look like the Spaceballs Winnebago.
Yeah, right.
He also talked about how he had seen documents that explained how aliens had been coming here for 10,000 years. They are gray aliens about the size of a child, and they come from a planet orbiting, I got to say this right, the binary star system Zeta Reticuli, I guess is how you say that. It's easier for me to say. That system does exist, but everybody, and it's 40,000 light years away from here, but nobody thinks this planet exists.
I wouldn't be shocked if that was the case. I certainly think if aliens...
That's close. You can see it in the night sky.
Right. But if aliens have been coming to this planet, I would imagine it's been for many, like he said, I mean, thousands of years. Like they not like we all got intelligent and humanoids or intelligent life on the planet at the same time. I would think if the aliens got here, that means they're probably a lot more advanced, especially in their cloaking technology of their SUVs.
Right.
So they were able to drive here thousands of years ago and have been checking up on us and smart enough to know, like when they saw the beginning of humans, that, oh, these things are stupid as shit.
Yeah, right.
So let's just not let them know. First of all, they really like to kill each other, so they're probably going to kill us. So let's just check out and see what they do.
Or they might all kill each other, and then we'll get their planet.
I don't think they'd want to. I think they're like, we were so advanced that this is like, it would be like us visiting a tent under a freeway and thinking like, you know what? I'm going to give up my house and let's go do that. It's just not going to happen.
The Earth is okay. I gotcha.
Yeah.
By the way, there is a Netflix documentary on him that was done a couple years ago, which I meant to watch prior to us recording this episode, but in a true indication of just how professional and lazy I am, I did not get to it. But I do want to read.
But you know the name of it. That's something.
It's called Bob Lazar, like Area 51, something. So there you go.
Bob Lazar and all the other crazies.
Go check that out. He's not crazy, Neil.
No. If it starts with the flat Earth thing, I'm out.
No, I don't think this is he's the opposite of flat Earth.
I would think.
He's like everything's out there. There's no flat Earth here. He did say, by the way, that when he was working there, he caught a glimpse of one of the little gray aliens in between two guys in lab coats.
Of a distant ship smoke on the horizon. Yeah. There was an alien was just chilling. Okay, buddy.
He was in the break room.
But it wouldn't totally shock me if that was true.
But wouldn't we know?
No.
No?
No.
I mean, I get what you're saying as far as like they could have been, so much more advanced than us, and for millennium that they've been. I mean, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, people were using force and have lightsabers. So anything's possible.
Sure.
It seems like more would have been detected. I guess it's easy to conceal certain things, but it seems like more would have been detected if visits were prevalent.
Well, maybe our thought. Maybe prevalent is once every 100 years.
Yeah.
Just saying, maybe little dude, it was just around. Who knows what their lifespan is? I haven't talked to him in a long time.
Well, maybe this is just part of his region. He's got a whole region he's got to cover.
Yeah.
And so he's just making stops here and there. He's like a traveling salesman of some sort.
Yeah, maybe they're here. Maybe there's one here for 1,000 years. Just one. But he makes the science round. He does the circuit. He goes to Area 51, and then he goes, he gets on a plane and, hangs out, whatever. He shows up in people's houses just like, hey, freaking you out.
And then the virus shows up and he's like, all right, I got to go. I got to bail.
That's what COVID stands for. Alien person in your house.
I was going to say, I can't wait to hear how you make COVID into something that sounds
That's
right. Did you, by the way, ever back in the day listen to Art Bell?
I don't know. Who is Art Bell?
So Art Bell was a guy
I guess I can look it up. I don't know.
He was almost like the original paranormal podcaster. He had a radio show that was everywhere. It was on late at night, so it had this total creep factor to it.
Was it the one with the weird music in the background?
I'm trying to remember if there was music. It seemed like it was just kind of dead air and him talking to these people. And so he would have these people call in and tell all these crazy stories. It started as kind of like
I have.
Yeah,
now, how old would we have been when he was doing all of this?
Like college.
Oh, no. I remember hearing something as a very young kid.
I feel like the 90s would have been the high point.
Okay, like like late 70s, early 80s, and I think they were like cassette tapes, and it was about somebody talking to somebody about alien encounters and abductions, but it was done by at the time, a reporter who had a fairly good reputation, but then this like totally ruined him.
Okay. I don't know if I remember that.
Yeah. I could be making that. It could be the aliens too. I've just totally made that up and not know.
Well, so his show was interesting to listen to because, like I said, it kind of spooked you out because these people are sharing all these conspiracy theories and paranormal activity and a lot of alien stuff. Mm-hmm. And I think he was in New Mexico, so that just made it even more perfect.
Sure, right.
And he just, like I said, late at night, so it would just be kind of dead out, and you'd be listening to this guy go on about this stuff, and these people telling these really creepy stories. I just wonder if you ever listened to that because
I do. It's now it rings a bell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think any of this information or the stuff that we've seen, especially lately, lends any credence to the theory that medical professionals are using alien DNA to treat people?
No, but I do think in that vein that it definitely makes you believe that demon sperm is possible.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, because I mean, what alien is going to give up their DNA?
Yeah.
I mean, think about it.
For us.
I mean, people don't even want to wear masks.
That's true.
Let alone give their DNA. And people don't want to get vaccinated. You think an alien's going to be like, take my DNA? But devil sperm, I could see that being handed out by the handfuls.
Was it devil sperm or was it demon sperm?
Demon sperm.
Because I think you could, I don't know that you could.
No, not devil. You're right. This was not a religious thing.
Yeah.
This was demon sperm.
Demon sperm.
Yeah.
And I believe also the theory was that part of the government was run by aliens and maybe reptilians.
Oh, absolutely. Reptilians. Well, yeah, kind of like L. Ron Hubbard's Dianetics or whatever, that Scientology. There are aliens among us, and they run stuff.
Is that part of that philosophy?
I believe so.
Oh, wow.
believe like once you get enlightened, you get to meet the aliens or something.
Oh boy. Well,
Which would be cool.
let's have a party, man.
I mean, imagine you're part of Scientology and then you get enlightened and you're like, what?
Yeah.
Seriously? There's that little gray dude. He's like, I was at Area 51 like 15 years ago.
Or what if you get there and there is no gray dude and you're like, fuck, man, I got sold a bill of goods.
Stole my sports car, my sports UFO.
The sport model. I wanted to talk to you about abductions because I know you like butt stuff. Would you be all over this?
Would I be? I don't know. I think that would be terrifying.
Oh,
not
God,
the butt
yeah.
stuff. The being abducted.
Like in the middle of the night, these things come in and take you? Oh.
Dude, it could happen first thing in the morning, middle of the day. I don't
That's
care.
true. It doesn't matter when it happens.
No.
I could
be just
always
walking
think at
in
night.
Target and I'd be like, nope, this is not. That would be freaky. If they had a way to communicate that I wouldn't be hurt and I was going to make it back.
You'd still be scared shitless.
I'm terrified, but having the experience would be, I mean, that would be something else.
But then you have to deal with that.
I would be immediately thinking, no one's ever going to believe me.
That's number one. You'd come back and nobody ever believe you. Two, you wouldn't even be sure if you could believe it yourself. Like you'd be looking for signs of, did that really happen? Did I dream that? Because that logic is thrown out the window for that to be possible in some ways. So you'd be freaking out about that. I don't know if you ever did you ever see the movie Communion?
Is that the abduction movie?
It's an abduction movie with
the three guys?
Christopher Walken.
Oh, no.
And it's freaky.
It's not the one about the three guys, is it?
No. I think you're thinking of October Sky, or not October Sky. Is that what it is?
Or Taken?
There's a different one that you're thinking of.
The one that's like based on a true story about these three guys.
They're out in like it's like country road or something, and the guy, this is different. So this is,
and the whole story ends up being that those guys were actually poaching on somebody's land or something like that at that time.
Is that what it was? You just ruined the movie.
There's a backstory.
You just ruined the movie.
There's a that's not in the movie.
Oh,
because like they kept telling their story. And then there's a backstory to that, to why these people would make up, because they made it sound like we were just driving on a back road, and then it came out that there's a little bit more to that.
Right, which you should always have a skeptical eye on things
Allegedly.
of those.
Just say that.
But in Communion, and I don't remember the whole story now because it's been a while since I saw it, but I remember sitting down to watch it one night or one day. I guess it was an evening. Sorry, let's get the story straight.
Yeah, right. Don't screw that
crucial.
up.
And I was living in DC. And the movie came on, and like 10 minutes in, fucking thunderstorm. Just created this like ominous feel over the whole movie experience. But yeah, it's Christopher Walken. He gets abducted in that thing, and he's having to deal with that of like looking like, he's got some signs of evidence that it happened, but people don't believe him. There's a scene where he wakes up in the night, and the creepy thing about it is what happens is when the abduction occurs, and this is probably true. So anybody who's going to get abducted, just be aware this is going to happen.
Okay.
Everybody in your house is like out cold, and you can't even wake them up and jar them. Like they're just fucking out. It's just you awake. And so he wakes up in his bedroom, and he looks out, and he's like, "Who's there?" And you just see this fucking face peer around a wall. Oh God, it's creepy. It's
creepy.
Shit.
Do you think you would believe somebody if they told you they got it, like someone you've known for a long time? Your lady friend, old college friend, me, like said, dude, this is going to sound crazy, but
I mean, I don't know. I think you would ask a shit ton of questions where you'd be like, you got to walk me through this again. Cause you got to understand this is really difficult to believe.
Oh yeah.
Even
absolutely.
though I know you feel like this happened, but maybe this was some sort of episode. Like maybe you fucking blacked out, or maybe, you know what I mean?
Well, that's all. And I would imagine too, there's probably a lot of holes in the story because you're probably not awake and super aware for the absolute whole thing. So it's like, and then the next thing I remember, I'm wearing this white sheet and I was laying on this table and they made me drink this blue stuff. And then I'm back home, and you're like, well, there isn't a lot there.
You know what I would do is they would start telling me this and I'd be like, I don't care about your dreams.
That's right.
I don't tell me about dreams. I don't give a shit. I never want to hear you tell me about. No, this is real. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Is it real?
Yeah.
Is it black and white? Do you dream of black and white? Anyway,
I only dream in infrared.
I just think, the abduction thing is freaky deaky. That, like you said, I mean, I don't care what they tell you. I don't
Do you
care.
think it's happened? Do you think humans have been abducted by aliens?
I think that there's life out there. It's hard to believe that that's happened just because, like I said, I feel like there would be some signs of evidence of it more than what we have.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say it's impossible, but it seems pretty unlikely.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah, the abductions thing is weird because I don't know why they bring you back.
Because they don't want to get. I guess who cares?
What are you going to do? Go sue them? Like go arrest them? Hey, aliens, we're after you. You took. No one would know.
Well, that or if you're abducted and never come back, then it's just, this person disappeared.
Yeah.
You know,
So what the aliens don't freaking care.
Yeah, they don't need to
what the
put you
part
back.
like why are they bringing you back?
yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're trying. Maybe they want to continue to monitor you. They want to see how you.
Or maybe it's like when you
react.
go to a pet store and pick up a puppy and you're like, oh, this puppy's kind of cute, and pet it and put it back. I wonder if the puppy's like with its little puppy friends going,
What
okay,
happened?
did anybody see that? The fucking hand picked me up.
Did he touch your butt?
Patted me on the head. Started looking at my teeth. Look at it, and then put me back. And they're like, yeah, buddy, whatever.
Yeah, okay.
Don't tell me about your dreams.
I don't care about your puppy dreams. Yeah, I don't know. I just think that would be so. I think what they do is they abduct you, they put you back in play to go like, let's watch what they do. Let's see what this person does now that we put him back into real life. They're
Wouldn't it be more
observers.
fun to take them and then put them in like a different society and go, let's see what happens now?
Put them on this planet,
Yeah.
this other planet in my district.
Maybe that's where the little gray dude come. There was a swap. They're like,
Yeah.
here you go. Good luck.
Yeah, I got another guy in my region. We're gonna do a swap. It's like the ultimate house swap, wife swap, whatever
Yeah.
game. It's a reality show. Maybe that's just
it.
being filmed.
That's what's going on. We just don't know it.
Ah, damn. Reality abductions. Do you have any, I mentioned Communion. Do you have any favorite alien movies that you have enjoyed over the years?
My favorite, I would have to say it's an old one, but a classic, Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Great
I
movie.
really like that movie.
Fucking- That's a great fucking movie.
Dun.
Yeah, that's definitely in my top range. The whole like making the mashed potatoes into the Devil's Tower and
Yeah.
doing all that.
Yeah. The kids just like freaking out.
Well, the kid getting abducted is a scary
pretty good.
fucking scene, and then you know the whole scene with them going up to Devil's Tower and them like faking that there's all those guys are in chemical suits, and
Yeah.
but they're faking it. They got the canary, but they got the burr with them to make sure that there's not actually a gas problem or whatever they're saying there is. It was wild, and I do like the fact that when they show, I think in good alien movies, the less they show of them, the better.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
And in that one, you could definitely see the forms, but it
Right,
was pretty
but there's-
grainy.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of movies that do that, Blair Witch Project, obviously one of the most famous. But anytime they have where you get to picture it how you want to, for the most part,
Yes.
they give you an outline. I think that makes it even more not believable, but you get drawn in a little bit more. Because
Yeah.
if you don't buy the alien look
It's over.
or the monster look or whatever it is, you're just like, unless it's Jaws, you know what a great white looks like. You're just like, nah, not buying it.
Yeah, but just having that feeling of, like when you see the alien perspective of watching humans or whatever, or you just see these little hints of them, I just think that makes it more creepy. Sometimes the fear of not seeing it more so.
Oh
than what you
yeah,
see.
I agree.
I like Starman a lot. You ever see Starman? That's an 80s movie.
I think so.
It's a very different type of alien movie because it's the being takes
A human form, right?
takes human form of
Yeah.
Jeff Bridges.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, somewhat human.
And he does such a great job. That movie, if you've never seen it, that's a fucking fantastic movie. It's very entertaining. And then I just saw Edge of Tomorrow recently. Have you seen Edge of Tomorrow with
Which
Tom
one is
Cruise?
that?
That's the one where
Yes.
basically it's like the video game style. He keeps dying and figuring out
Yes.
how to do his shit.
I like
was,
that one.
That was a pretty good movie.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, Aliens. Those are always good flicks. I actually enjoy Aliens more than Alien, even though Alien's probably the better movie, just
Right.
because it's just more.
That's kind
entertaining.
of a general consensus, isn't it? That Alien is a better movie, but Aliens is more fun to watch or something like that, which I don't.
That's
totally
certainly how I
understand.
feel.
Yeah.
Well, it's just more. It's more actiony, of course, and Alien is almost more of a horror movie, and Aliens is more of an action movie, kind of.
Yeah. Alien is more of a suspense too, right? Like
Totally.
you're constantly like, what's going to, and in Aliens, they just freaking fight, don't they?
Yes,
I've never seen either.
that's a lie.
No,
You've never seen either of those movies?
not the whole thing. I've seen parts of them, but I've never watched the
I
whole thing.
need a new co-host.
I was thinking of another somewhat recent alien movie, but I'm drawing a blank. Anyway, it's not with Tom Cruise. It was with Will Smith? Anyway, it's one of the more recent ones. It's kind of goofy but kind of fun.
Oh, are you thinking of? Well, there was a show that Will Smith did, like
Maybe
on
I'm
Netflix.
yeah.
where
I
it
might be
was-
confusing it with the AI movie.
Oh, okay, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But Men in Black, that was a fun movie.
It was.
I mean, it's really not an alien as far as the
What we're talking
the
about.
imagining of
Right.
aliens coming down, and it was more of a
I just thought it would have been great if you left it as. There's another man I'm trying to think of. It's not Tom Cruise. Okay.
That's it.
That cuts out about 50
Yeah.
movies or whatever. Let's narrow that down.
Yeah. Tom Cruise doesn't do just alien movies. In fact, he hasn't done many at all.
It's got that.
Just saying.
It's got that.
not Tom
It's
Cruise.
got that one gal in it. Oh,
It's got this that guy that he did that other thing.
Yeah, he was in the other one, right?
Do you remember?
He's been around since like the 80s.
Yeah.
Remember that guy?
Yeah.
I guess.
I'm not sure how old he is. He could be 20, 40.
By the way.
You know, I think his dad. No, it wasn't his dad.
No, forget it. You know what?
Yeah.
Forget it. You don't know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, you don't know what I'm talking about?
Just the other day, I was joking with one of my buddies who just turned 49 in May. And so I've just been sending him pictures of Wilford Brimley in The Natural and in Cocoon because he's 49 and 50 in those movies. It is unreal.
Isn't it weird?
49 in The Natural.
He was 149.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Somebody check that birth certificate. He did die recently, so pour one out. Rest in peace, Wilford Brimley.
Yeah. Or he got abducted.
I don't know.
49.
49 in The Natural, 50 in Cocoon. What?
That's crazy. I know.
Good Christ. Because you're 50 already.
I'm almost there. Yeah.
I just wanted to see if you remembered.
Yeah.
You will know when you hit the big 50, I think.
I will because my sister will turn the big 40.
Ah, okay. So it's all relative.
Mm-hmm.
Literally. Each week, Neil, we offer up some advice to a listener. Most weeks.
Do we do it each week?
Not each week. Most weeks, we offer up some advice to a listener who has submitted a question to us. You can do that at reasonsaredebatable@gmail.com or on Twitter at reasonsare. No advice questions sent in. What the hell, guys? We're here for you. Are you still scared off by
Maybe they
Neil's?
didn't like the advice I was giving. That's
Yeah,
what I was
Neil's
gonna
harsh
say.
responses scaring you away. So we decided not to pick on Amy this week, but instead we went to Dear Prudence from slate.com, which I was not really familiar with. Here's the question. Ready? Is my husband a perv?
Yes.
Probably. I'm married and I have 2 kids. Recently, I came across a series of text messages between my husband and his buddy. My husband texted a photo from a poster of a female. This is very specific, by the way.
Okay.
My husband texted a photo from a poster of female college athletes that was hanging on her daughter's wall.
So he took a picture with his phone of a poster.
That's of
female
college
college athletes.
female athletes in his daughter's room. She's got this poster up. Then they said that this athlete, previously discussed to be hot, was false advertising. She actually was more like Jabba the Hutt or a cow. Hey, it's just locker room talk.
Oh, God.
I'm kidding.
Your husband is so much more than just a perv, unfortunately. Or I should say so much less.
It gets better. My husband
God.
sent a photo of a college freshman from our daughter's poster. So now this is a freshman in college, still again, same poster, to make up for having sent the ugly photo. He sent a different picture. Like, hey, guys, sorry, guys, I know that one was Jabba the Hutt. I'm going to send you a hotter one. By the way, she's 18 years old, and I'm a fucking grown man. There were many other messages remarking upon waitresses, cashiers, coworkers, etc., which maybe is more normal guy talk, but this interaction really disturbed me, especially given that there are high school seniors on my daughter's team. Also, this is a sport where sexual abuse is rampant. Additional info. Yes, I did look at my husband's phone.
Oh, my God.
I like how she's writing this out, and then she's like, oh, people are going to be like, why were you looking at your husband's phone? I got to account for that.
Yeah.
I did look at my husband's phone, but it was after inadvertently learning that he was secretly taking drugs. This guy's awesome.
Oh, my God.
So while normally investigating is not a cool thing to do, I felt like I had to figure out the extent of the problem to protect my kids. But that's a question for another day.
Oh, boy.
I don't know. I think we should cover it all.
Yeah, I think you need to get the kids and either kick him out or get the hell out because your husband's a bad person.
He's got a drug problem, and hey,
it's not the drugs.
Not putting it on the drugs, but I'm just saying
even
that's
the part.
That he needs to deal with that.
Yeah, because you could
But he also
talk
has
to
a
him
bigger
about the
problem.
drugs and say like, hey,
And get treatment.
yeah, what's going on with the drugs? Explain this to me a little bit. And, if he still has his wits about him, can say, well, maybe I'm having a little too much fun. Okay, well, let's get some treatment. The other part, no, you just got to get rid of it.
Right. Because he's sending pictures of a girl who's 3 or 4 years older than his daughter to other dudes. And I don't know. I don't have daughters, so I can't speak to that, but I'm going to guess I wouldn't
But
do that.
you're a responsible human being, and you can't speak to being respectful of humans, and in this case, women. So,
Right.
yeah, this guy's got to go.
Well, what did I say the person's name was? Prudence. Prudence said, you do not need to dismiss cruel, dehumanizing attractiveness rankings as long as they're only about colleagues and service professionals. Of course, he crossed a new line by trading pictures and sexual fantasies about girls that could be his daughter's teammate. But it's not as if what he was doing before was just fine, or just how Male friends keep up with one another's lives. The cruelty is perhaps the most distressing part. It's not just it's not just that your husband sometimes finds women attractive, but that he gets angry with them for looking different from a given picture and considers them subhuman if they're not attractive to him. Jesus.
Yeah.
You do not have to accept that as something that simply comes with the territory. If you marry a guy, you should be disturbed. You do not have to wait for another day to ask the question. You don't ask here, which is, should I leave him?
Yeah.
Which is what you said. You're on board with Prudence. You can start considering it now. For what it's worth, I think the answer should be yes.
Yeah.
Prudence says, get the fuck out.
That's it. I mean, I would think if it would be hard to just walk. And if she says, hey, I found these texts, if his answer is anything but, I'm so embarrassed that I did that.
Yep.
I don't know why I do that. I need help to not do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm probably more embarrassed because I got caught, which makes it even worse because I'm not stopping on my own. But I am willing to do whatever it takes to change my mental makeup so I don't do those things anymore. And whatever I can do, and I hope you give me the opportunity to show you that I can change, will change, and do whatever it takes. But
no, I'm just kidding. I was answering as her.
Yeah, no. Because I've never gotten a text from you of a picture you took of a girl saying false advertising, she's a cow.
Wow.
Man, it's just so weird. I just don't understand why you would want to do that.
Well, and it's something that I think it just speaks to more of immaturity as well. And so the fact that this guy's got a teenage daughter, it seems odd that he's making those kinds of texts. Not to say that it's excusable for somebody who's 25 to do it, but it would be more. It wouldn't be as shocking for somebody younger.
Also, that it's so much more than just saying, this is going to be really weird, but I saw my daughter's got this freaking poster in a room, and there's this one girl that I'm like totally attracted to. Mm-hmm. What the hell? And then you're having a conversation with your friend. It was a bunch of negative stuff about women and stereotypical misogyny about it, too. It wasn't just...
Right.
You see a beautiful person, male or female, and you're like, I was at the supermarket today and I saw one of the most beautiful people ever and I couldn't stop freaking staring. I felt like a total creep. That's a conversation that's fair to have. When you start going, well, then she turned around because I thought she had a nice ass. Then she turned around and I realized she was a no-go.
And her friend was a cow.
Yeah, then you're like, okay, dude, now you're just doing something else.
Yeah. Well, there you go, Prudence. Neil's on board with you. So I think this is one where you didn't yell at the person asking the question. You just
no, because there was a I didn't have to make up a villain.
Okay, there you go.
There was one.
Yeah, that makes it easier, I guess.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to our show.
Thank you.
You can find us and share your thoughts.
That's it. End of show right there. Thank you. Click.
Click. I'll cut it right in the middle of us describing our answer to that situation.
Yeah.
You can find us and share your thoughts at Reasons Are on Twitter. Neil is
at Angels Freak, and then the number 7.
You can email us your advice questions anytime. reasonsaredebatable@gmail.com. We accept those questions 24 hours a day. Mm-hmm. Please write a review. Tell someone about the show. Go to reasonsaredebatable.com and you can find links to all the various guest appearances we do and all of our merch and all that kind of stuff. And we'll be back next week. Thanks.
See ya.